From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, India is a spellbinding mosaic of culture, tradition, languages, and an extraordinary mingling civilization. Keeping its age-old culture maintained, today the country is taking huge strides in the path of development. Hello, I'm your host Skyrim Zimik, and today in our episode of My India, we bring you some of the stories that will give a glimpse of our country's diversity. Indians cherish their own culture, but they have equally embraced other cultures as well. And especially when it comes to food, they are always ready to give a try. A similar scene was witnessed in Hyderabad city, where an Iranian food fest drew a number of visitors to relish the authentic Iranian cuisines.
Food culture and lifestyle in India is influenced a lot by other nations, as people from foreign lands had brought with themselves their food habits and lifestyle to this great land. Indian cuisine is probably one of the most diverse cuisines around the world. Indians therefore are always on a lookout for new delicacies that provide a whole new experience to their taste buds. One such cuisine that has influenced a wide variety of dishes in India, especially meat curries and desserts, is the Persian or Iranian cuisine. Recently, natives of Hyderabad city of Telangana got soaked in mesmerizing taste of this cuisine at the Iranian Food Festival.
Iran and Hyderabad, Iran and South India, they have lots of cultural manifestation in common. And back in history, we were share even in a language, Farsi language used to spoken here in Hyderabad. And food is one of the most aspect of each country's culture. So we thought that it would be a good idea if we present authentic Iranian food here in Hyderabad. Actually, it's the first time that a festival like this is happening here in Hyderabad.
Organized by the Consulate General of Iran at the Trident Hotel in Hyderabad, the festival aimed at introducing Indian citizens to authentic Irani cuisine. The spread of Irani delicacies were prepared by chef Mona Purdarai, who has flown in specially for the festival. Mouth-watering Iranian delicacies like juji kebab, saffron naan, kurmani roti, goat meat sabzi, and saffron sharbat were included in the menu. Citizens found similarities between Irani and Indian cuisine and enjoyed the food and the feel of the festival.
It was nice. The palate is quite different. It's very different from the Indian palate. So the flavors are very different. So it was pretty flavorful, but it takes some getting used to. But after a few bites, you kind of get used to the flavors. It was quite nice and mellow after a bit.
So how do you find it different from Hyderabadi?
So I think Hyderabadi food is way more spicier. There's more masala. But I think the flavors here are more mellow, more soft. So after a few bites, you notice that taste difference. I especially like the breads. The breads are very different from the breads you get in Hyderabad. But the gravies are more softer on your flavors. So I think that's one big difference, that they're not as masaledar as a Indian gravy or a Hyderabadi gravy.
Such events not only help people to know about other cultures and connect with them, but also help in strengthening bilateral ties between nations.
Having mutual tolerance and regards for each other's belief is a characteristic of Indian society. Several examples can be found across the nook and corner of the country who are keeping it alive. One among them can be witnessed in the Varanasi city of Uttar Pradesh, where a group of Muslim women have been for years lighting up the Diwali night of the Hindu brethren by making beautiful cow dung lamps. Have a look.
As Hindus across the country observed the festival of lights, Diwali, the people of other faiths too were not behind in contributing to the occasion, setting a wonderful example of communal harmony. In Varanasi city of Uttar Pradesh, Muslim women took a unique initiative to strengthen the mutual brotherhood by preparing Diwali lamps with the name Ramdeep. Associated with Muslim Mahila Foundation, These women use cow dung and mud to prepare the lamps and then make them attractive using natural colors, stars and other artifacts. They say through this initiative they want to spread the ideals of Lord Ram in the entire world.
आज हम सभी हिंदू मुस्लिम बहनें मिल करके गाय के गोबर और मिट्टी से दिया बना रहे हैं, जिससे हम लोग एक तरफ से गौ संरक्षण का और पर्यावरण संरक्षण दोनों का संदेश दे रहे हैं। ये इस पे हम लोग रंगों से राम लिख रहे हैं और ये राम नाम रूपी जो दीपक है ये नफ़रत के अंधियारों को मिटाने का काम करेगा। आज पूरी दुनिया को राम के आदर्शों पर चलने की ज़रूरत है, उनके बताए हुए आदर्शों पर रास्ते पर चलने की ज़रूरत है। जहाँ पर पूरी दुनिया में हिंसा हो रही है, नफरत हो रही है, धर्म के नाम पर लोग एक दूसरे का गला काट रहे हैं, आज हम वहीं ये सभी बहनें मिल करके ये राम नाम रूपी दिया तैयार कर रही हैं और पूरी दुनिया को संदेश दे रही हैं कि हम कहीं पर भी पृथक नहीं हो सकते, अलग नहीं हो सकते। जो भी भारत में जन्मे हैं उनके पूर्वज राम हैं, वो अपने पूर्वजों को कभी भी बदल नहीं सकते।
These Muslim women, accompanied by their Hindu sisters, continue their work amid Ram bhajans. Once the lamps are made, they then self-distribute them to the eminent people and Hindu families of the city. In addition to this, around 108 lamps prepared by these Muslim women also find a place at Ayodhya's Deepotsav celebration, where one can find the largest display of oil lamps.
हम सारे लोग यहाँ मिलकर के एकता का दीपक बना रहे हैं जो कि सारे घरों में रोशनी करेंगे और हम सारे लोग मुस्लिम बहनें अपने हिंदू भाइयों को घर पे ये दीपक पहुँचाएंगे और उनको ये संदेश देंगे एकता का कि हम सारे लोग अलग नहीं है बल्कि एक हैं। जहाँ भारत में हम लोग जन्म लिए हैं तो यहाँ पे चाहे हिंदू हो चाहे मुसलमान हो, प्रभु श्री राम सबके पूर्वज हैं, तो हम सारे लोग खुशी मनाएंगे दीपावली के मौके पर और ये दीपक बन करके हमारा वहाँ अयोध्या में जाएगा, वहाँ प्रभु श्री राम की नगरी में जलेगा, जिससे भी ये भी संदेश जाएगा कि हम सारे लोग एकता की मिसाल कायम कर रहे हैं। और बनारस हमेशा से गंगा जमुनी तहजीब की मिसाल पेश करता आया है, तो इस बार भी हम लोगों ने ये काम किया है।
Doing it for last many years, these women are not just giving out loud the message of peace, goodwill and harmony, but are also promoting an eco-friendly Diwali.
Now a roundup of some of the major stories that made news recently.
Kashmir-made willow bats have made it to the ongoing ICC T20 World Cup. Some players of the Oman cricket team use Kashmiri bats in their T20 World Cup fixture. Although the local bat industry has been there for decades, this is the first time that any international player has used a Kashmiri-made willow bat. Expressing his happiness, Fazal Kabir Dar, the owner of Kashmir-based sports company in Anantnag, said that we are working hard so that more teams chose to play with our bats.
हमारे ग्रेट स्पोर्ट्स की जो इक्विपमेंट एंड बैट्स हैं तो ये ओमान की क्रिकेट टीम ने वर्ल्ड कप में उतारा है, तो ये अभी आने वाले और भी मुल्क उतारेंगे और इंटरनेशनल टीम्स इसमें खेलेंगी और ये चीज़ के लिए हम पूरी कोशिश करे हुए हैं कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया, न्यूजीलैंड, साउथ अफ्रीका जो भी क्रिकेट प्लेइंग नेशंस हैं तो सब धीरे धीरे हमारे बैट को ऑप्ट करें, हमारे इक्विपमेंट को ऑप्ट करें ताकि हमारी इकोनॉमी इससे थोड़ी ग्रो हो सके।
Kashmir is a hub of hundreds of willow bat manufacturing units from where they are sold in different parts of India and abroad. There are more than 300 bat manufacturing units in Jammu and Kashmir's Anantnag district, and the way one of their counterparts has earned an international recognition. It is an inspiration for all of them. An ex-Indian Army service member has garnered laurels for his dedicated mission to make Odisha's Jajpur green with plantation. Khiroj Jena has been planting saplings and protecting the greenery around the city from cattle grazing for the last 16 years. The 54-year-old ex-army man has planted over 20,000 fruit-bearing trees, which include a range of varieties such as mango, guava, jamun and jackfruit at public places and roads in at least 11 villages. Since his retirement in 2005, Jena had been spending close to Rs 10,000 each month towards environmental conservation initiatives, protecting and restoring nature. In the first of its kind experience, a floating theatre has recently come up at Jammu and Kashmir iconic Dal Lake. To promote tourism in the region, the government took the initiative of turning the illuminated houseboats into seats, combining picturesque Dal Lake into a floating theatre. During the inaugural program, the famous Bollywood film Kashmir Ki Kali was screened at the floating theatre.
I think this is a one of a kind experience जो कि not only showcase कर सकता है beauty of Kashmir but जो film industry associated रही है कश्मीर की which we have only been able to see in movies और आज हम यहाँ पर डल लेक के बीच में बैठ के हाउस बोट के बीच में इतनी खूबसूरत मूवी देख रहे हैं इतनी खूबसूरत environment जी कश्मीर की कली तो I think it's a very good experience.
Kashmir has been one of the favorite destinations for Bollywood filmmakers, addressing the scenic valley as a photographer's paradise.
India is a vast country with people of different class, creed and cultures residing on its land. This sheer variety tells us the story of unity and solidarity that the country stands up for. So celebrating this beautiful unification of different religions in our country, an event Run for Unity was recently organized in Jammu and Kashmir's Srinagar city, where people ran together to spread the message of peace and happiness all around. Have a look.
Donning their sport outfits and immersed in high spirit and enthusiasm, more than 700 people of different age groups and faiths lined up at the banks of famous Dal Lake in Srinagar to participate in the marathon. Themed as Run for Unity, the half marathon was organized by Jammu and Kashmir Police on the occasion of National Unity Day. This day is observed to mark the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the man who played an important role in the unification of our country and is popularly known as the Iron Man of India. Aimed at spreading peace and brotherhood across all faiths and communities, such events are being organized by the Jammu and Kashmir Police on regular basis.
आप जानते हैं जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस खासतौर पे आर्मड पुलिस की तरफ से हम लोग नौजवान बच्चों के लिए बुजुर्गों के लिए छोटे बच्चों के लिए सबके लिए कोई ना कोई प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज करते रहते हैं. इससे पहले जश्न डल का प्रोग्राम आपने देखा, साइकिल रेस देखा, जिस और आज का ये जो प्रोग्राम रन फॉर पीस और रन फॉर यूनिटी, आज आपको पता है कि नेशनल लेवल पे यूनिटी डे भी है जहां पर हम लोग सब हर बरादरी हर भाईचारा मिलकर एक दूसरे के साथ मुल्क की तरक्की और सलामियत के काम करने के लिए प्लेज लेते हैं, कसम लेते हैं. वो दिन भी है आज के प्रोग्राम में कुछ 700 से ज़्यादा बच्चों ने, बुजुर्गों ने, बच्चियों ने और सब तरह की जो कैटेगरीज में लोगों ने हिस्सा लिया.
Later, an impressive prize distribution ceremony was held in which the winners of different events were honoured with cash prizes and trophies by Chief Guest Dilbagh Singh, DGP of Jammu and Kashmir Police. The initiative by the Jammu and Kashmir Police was highly appreciated by the participants, especially the different abled ones, who said that more such events should be organised, keeping them in focus.
तो आज जो हमने यहाँ पे रेस की, पार्टिसिपेट किया, जितने भी स्पेशल एबल्ड पर्सन थे, हमारी बास्केटबॉल टीम थी, क्रिकेट टीम था, तो दोनों ने हमें पार्टिसिपेट यहाँ पे किया. व्हीलचेयर बाउंड थे और एम्पूटीज थे. बहुत अच्छा लगा, एंजॉयमेंट बहुत हुआ, बहुत खुशी हुई कि आज हमें यहाँ पे ढूंढा गया. हम जैसे लोगों को अब बाहर यहाँ पे मौका मिल रहा है. यहाँ पे जो रेस थी, आज तक मैंने कभी किसी रेस में पार्टिसिपेट नहीं किया है, बट आज जो रेस थी बहुत अच्छा लगा. हमने पार्टिसिपेट भी किया, एंजॉय भी किया, बहुत मजा आया. बट मैं अपनी एलजी सरकार से रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ, हम जैसे लोगों के लिए काम हो यहाँ पे, क्योंकि टैलेंट यहाँ पे बहुत है. डिसेबल्ड पर्सन जितने भी बच्चे यहाँ पे टैलेंट बहुत है. इंडिया में देखो जहाँ से भी गोल्ड मेडल स्टार है वो स्पेशल एबल्ड पर्सन से बहुत बड़े गोल्ड मेडल आए हैं. पर हम भी गोल्ड मेडल लाना चाहते हैं, पर हमें मौका चाहिए. हम लोग अपनी एलजी सरकार से आपकी मदद से गुजारिश करते हैं कि हमें और मौका दिया जाए ताकि हम भी अपने लिए कुछ कर सके, अपना पहचान, अपने JNK का नाम रोशन कर सके.
Events like Run for Unity play an important role in strengthening the bond of oneness among people, and thus should be organised on regular basis to spread brotherhood and harmony among all.
With rapid climatic changes and skyrocketing pollution levels, countries all over the globe are taking various steps at ground level to curb the problem. India too is no behind in contributing to the cause. One of the major steps being taken is that of establishing garbage cafes that collect plastic waste in exchange for food. Recently, 22 such garbage cafes have been set up at an area in New Delhi by the Municipal Corporation. Take a look.
One may have heard of organic cafes, book cafes or vegan cafes, but the concept of garbage cafes is comparatively a less heard one. Opened with the motive of curbing the use of plastic waste, garbage cafes run on the concept of giving food items in exchange of plastic. Recently, the North Delhi Municipal Corporation has opened 22 such garbage cafes in the Karol Bagh area of New Delhi.
जो ले आयल वापम तो भीड़ तो होता नहीं, पर जो जिसकी जैसा हो, जो चीज़ खानी हो उसको रिक्वायर कर देते हैं, भैया ले जा, भाई तेरा बंद ले जा। हाँ ना, जैसा जो खाए, जैसे समोसा ले लिया, किसी को कचौड़ी दे दी, किसी को भटूरा दे दिया, किसी को बंडा दे दिया। ये मीठा खाना उसको मीठा दे दिया, ले जा भैया चल जो कि तेरा।
The North Delhi Municipal Corporation has tied up with 22 cafes that will provide food to people in exchange for 1 kg of plastic waste. While different municipalities in the states of Gujarat and Chhattisgarh had already begun exchanging food for plastic waste, the concept came to the national capital in February 2020. The step has been taken in accordance to Prime Minister's vision of Swachh Bharat.
फरवरी 2020 के अंदर ये शुरुआत हुई है और पूरे देश के अंदर नरेंद्र मोदी जी के आह्वान पे कि प्लास्टिक को मुक्त करना है, उसी में उत्तरी दिल्ली नगर निगम ने ये प्लास्टिक को ख़त्म करने के लिए दुकानदारों को एक लिस्ट 23 दुकानदारों की करोल बाग जोन के अंदर दी है। ये प्लास्टिक ख़त्म होना चाहिए। ये प्लास्टिक जो है ये बोतल के रूप में, किसी भी वेस्ट प्लास्टिक जो है वो गौ माता भी इसको खा जाती है, जो कि बड़ा नुकसान होता है। ये प्लास्टिक से मुक्ति मिलनी चाहिए।
It is expected that the initiative will motivate the citizens of Delhi to come forward and reduce the city's plastic waste and play their part in the fight against pollution.
At last, we bring you a few short stories about the recent developments and happenings from around the world in our section of World in Focus. Global company in the soy sauce industry, Kikkoman, has acquired the majority of Japanese and world soy sauce market. It functions quite similarly to Japanese traditional food culture, fermentation, and ensures the natural brewing of Kikkoman soy sauce. The traditional Japanese brewing process known as honjozo is used in the making of this soy sauce.
Kikkoman soy sauce is honjozo soy sauce, which means naturally brewed soy sauce. And what naturally brewed? We use only 4 natural ingredients and using the power of a microorganism to ferment those ingredients, namely soybeans, wheat, salt, and water. So just 4 ingredients. So quite simple, but actually taste is very, very complex. That fermentation is very interesting process, and with fermentation, we achieve soy sauce now has 5 basic taste, all of them, which is saltiness, sweetness, sourness, bitterness, and umami. And also in terms of aroma, we actually Kikkoman soy sauce has more than 300 aromatic compounds, so it's quite complex. So it's the very interesting part of honjozo soy sauce.
The speciality of the natural fermentation method is that it brings out the deliciousness that cannot be attained by chemical seasoning.
Honjozo soy sauce like us, and of course another things like a chemically produced soy sauce. The difference is, I can explain in just one word: quality. And during the fermentation, we could achieve very complex flavor and the aroma of Honjozo soy sauce. And that complexity is the reason why Kikkoman soy sauce is good with many different kind of cuisine or many different kind of dishes. On the other side, that those chemically made soy sauce, it takes only a few days to a week to produce, but the taste is not really complex. So we are proud of using that method, and for the future that we continue to provide a high quality soy sauce to the world.
Kikkoman's natural fermentation soy sauce method brings out a deliciousness which is loved by people around the world. More than 130 horseback riders from 15 countries competed in the Gallops of Jordan, an orienteering and endurance equestrian race that took place in the kingdom's renowned desert of Wadi Rum. Held for 5 days, the race saw participants aged between 15 and 70 years old galloping over 200 kilometers. Many celebrities also took part in the event, including Jordanian Princess Jalila bint Ali, Miss France 2015 Camille Cerf, and Emmeline Parmentier, a prominent Belgian jockey whose legs were amputated as a result of a car accident.
الحدث هذا في الأردن طبعا من أكبر تجمع خيل اللي هي خيل وفرسان. احنا الفرسان تقريبا كانت الهدف تبع التجوال الأردن أنه يكون يعني هدف رياضي وسياحي بنفس الوقت.
Gallops of Jordan is the fourth edition of the race, which was previously held in Oman, Morocco and India. Japanese people enjoy gardening as a hobby in their leisure time. Recently, the latest gardening products were exhibited at the International Garden Expo held near Tokyo. This year's expo featured tools used in gardening, ideal products to beautify your garden, and various eco-friendly products. This is a dome house that can be installed in the garden, enabling owners to create their own special place.
おうち時間が増えたっていうこともあって皆さん家庭でガーデニングをする機会が増えたということでですね非常に出店製品が幅広くて郊外にやっぱりこう出て移住をしたりだとかっていうことで結構広い庭がある方が増えたみたいでピザ窯とかそういった出店製品が新しく出てきたりとかあとはテントが増えたりとかですねそういったものが出店が増えてますね。
In addition, eco-friendly products were also put on display. As you can see, the surface of this flower pot is made up of cloth and it has a strange geometric pattern. And this flower pot is made up of a biodegradable plastic that decomposes into water and carbon dioxide, thus reducing plastic waste.
原料の半分以上 51% を紙で作っていて 49% がプラスチックになっているので表記的にはプラではなく紙のプラスチックになっているので、こちらは可燃物として処理していただける商品となっています。
With people opting for new activities in their leisure time, the gardening industry is aiming high to draw customers with a multiple range of products. That's all we have for you this week. Your comments and suggestions are important to us. Do give us your feedback at myindia@nin.com. I'm your host Karim Zimik, and it's goodbye from the entire production team.